Hey guys, it's Sasha. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my April wrap-up. I am at the medical centre right now because Kale needed his wound redressed. Nothing serious. He just has an abscess on his neck that's almost healed up, but he needs it to be redressed and repacked every day. And because it's public holiday, our local is closed, but the one in town is open. So I'm going to try to film this out in the open where people are going to see me as they're walking past. Let's hope that it works out okay. But I'm staying in the car because obviously there can't be, the only person that's allowed in the medical centre is the patient, and I'm not the patient, but I just wanted to get out of the house. So here I am. Let's do this. So in the month of April, I read 12 books, which is really exciting when I have only read 3 books in January, February, March. So I'm quite proud of myself for that. I didn't complete all my hours like I wanted to, but I'm still really happy with all the books that I read. So I'm just going to start off with the first book I read and go all the way to the last book that I read. Now, the first book I read was Whipped by Jenica Snow. This is a Kindle Unlimited romance where the female main character is trying to get a boss to basically take her seriously. She is a female in a workplace where it's mainly male dominated, and she takes most of her lunch breaks in this bakery that's around the corner, and she kind of has a crush on the bakery owner. And then you get the male main character's perspective, and he's the owner of the bakery and he has a crush on her, and it's really cute. There is some food play in this, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Magic with Skin On by Morgan Nicola Wren. This is a collection of poetry, and I really enjoyed it. It was very different to any other poetry collections I've read, and it was really good. I really highly recommend reading it. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Loner's Lady by Jessa Kane. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It's about this girl and her gay best friend. They pretend to be dating, so the dad of the guy doesn't know that he's gay, but then she kind of falls for the dad, and the dad kind of falls for her. It was very weird, but it's Jessa Kane, so you know it's very smutty. And then I read my first 5-star read of the year, and that was Born Darkly by Trisha Wolfe. Born Darkly is a psychological thriller, I think you would call that. It was very, very good. I really enjoyed it. So it's about this therapist who works with criminals, basically ones who are on death row. She's trying to work with them so that they get off death row, and her next client is a serial killer who has killed people who should have been on death row, but they got away with their crimes. So he's kind of like a vigilante sort of thing, but he got caught because he filmed the torture that he did, and it was very interesting to read about. I really enjoyed it. I love the relationship between the two. People call it like Joker and Harley Quinn, but I really don't like the Joker and the Harley Quinn's relationship. I can see the resemblance between them because the male character tries to bring out the past in the female character, and there is some weird bits in this. Like the male character essentially climaxes from exercising because he's thinking about the female character, and yeah, that is weird, but it's still really good book. I cannot wait to read the sequel because it left on such a, not a cliffhanger, but you just want to read more about them, and I cannot wait to pick it up. I then read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. This is a age romance, kind of. So the main character and her boyfriend get into some financial trouble, so they move in with the boyfriend's dad, and the main character starts getting feelings for the boyfriend's dad. And for a while there, I was really scared that it was going to be like cheating, but there is no cheating in this, in the main romance. But I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I didn't like the ending. I don't know why, but why romances have to make sure that everyone gets married at the end and they have their 3 kids. I just don't get it. But and then I reread The Foxhill Court by Nora Sakovic. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I love this series, and I can see the problems with it that people talk about now that I've read it after being on BookTube for 2-3 years, and I understand why some people don't like it. I still get some really good feel-good feelings from it, and I definitely will be continue on with my reread. So Foxhill Court is about Neil Justin, who is trying to run away from his past, and he gets swept up in this college team of XE, which is like lacrosse cross hockey, I think. And Neil's father is not a very good guy, so he's trying to run away from him, but then when he gets to the college, there is a guy there from his past, and it was so good. Loved it. Yes, like I said, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next 5 books are for the Smartathon weekend that I participated in. If you want to watch my vlog for that, I will leave it up in the cards. So, and I'll leave the link down below so you can watch my thoughts for all of that. But first up, I read the group book, which was Theirs for the Night by Katie Robert. This is a MMF smutty novella. I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it just, I wasn't expecting it to be a prequel to a much larger series. So I think if I pick up the next book, I might enjoy it more, because just, I thought that because it was a novella, we would see all of the smutty scenes and I would get really nice feelings from it. But we only saw 2, and it was just a bit, so I was kind of a bit apprehensive with Katie Robert. But then I read Learn My Lesson. It was amazing. Learn My Lesson is another MMF story, and it's about Hercules, Meg, and Hades. So good. I really enjoyed it. It's the 2nd book in her Wicked Villain series, and I have yet to read the first one, but I'm going to now, and I just loved it a lot. I don't think I've ever read a book with that much steaminess where I was actually invested in the characters and what was going to happen to them. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It's easily my favorite book of the month, and I cannot wait to read the other books in that series. I read Sin and Ink by Naima Simone. This is a book that they call it taboo, right? But it's not really taboo, because they're not related. They're only related through marriage, and then the husband has died. So you've got this one guy, and he's in love with his dead brother's wife, and the wife is in love with him, and it's just, I just wish that they spoke to each other more. Like, you all know I hate miscommunication in books, and this one just had lots of miscommunication. And then when they finally did get together, like, it's only just going to be for tonight because no one else can know about this because they're going to break up the family and blah blah blah. If no one likes that you're together, fuck them. Because if you're happy, what's wrong with that? And then I read Preacher Man by Jessica Cain. Not giving this one a rating because it was just basically sex, and it was a weird sort of, I cannot remember if the girl in this book is still a teenager or not, but it was between her and the preacher, who's not really a preacher, and I just wasn't a big fan of it. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. And then I read Tempting Her Neighbour by Laura Jardine. This is another smutty-ish book where this guy moved to this small town from like Ontario or some big town, and he just is very grumpy, And then the neighbor, like, lots of people call her a slut in this small town, but that's only because she enjoys sex. She wanted this guy because he hadn't heard all the rumors, and she just wanted to just be enjoyed, I think, instead of like having people not talk to her, or like just having people having sex with her but then not telling anyone about it, or being like, oh, high five, I slept with the bike of the town. It was okay. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I just don't think I was really into it, but I finished it anyway, because I don't know why. I'm okay with DNFing books. I don't know why I didn't DNF this one, but whatever. And then the last book I actually listened to on audio, and that is The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. This is the second book in her Once Upon a Con series, I believe she's now calling it. The first book was Geekerella. So the second book follows one of the characters from the first book, and she plays Princess Amara, and everyone knows that she doesn't like to be Princess Amara, but she's trying really hard to be like a serious actor. And it was, you got both perspectives, right? So you got the perspective of the girl who plays Princess Amara, and then you get this perspective of Imogen, who is a lookalike. So it's a Princess and the Pauper retelling. And so obviously, if you know that story, they switch places, but I liked being inside Jessica's head because she was such an unlikable character, and then just the way that the story unfolded, you ended up like seeing her side and why she is so unlikable. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think I do prefer Jessica over Imogen. The next book is about this really douchebag character that you were introduced to in this series, in this book, and I'm not sure if I really want to read it about him, but it's Beauty and the Beast retelling, so we'll see how we go. But that is it for my April wrap up. I did not read any physical books this month, which is really weird, and I've been trying to, I don't know why. I think it's just easier to read books that was on my Kindle, because it's just so easily accessible. But yeah, I had a really good time reading the books that I did this month. Let me know down below what your favorite book of this month was. I would love to know. And if you like this video, don't you forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. And if you want to be my friend, you can add me on Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter. They're all at Sasha Reads. And I'll see you next time. Bye.